Hello, humans! So, I had an idea. I was a part of a training a while ago, and it made me laugh really hard. Due to current circumstances, and everything happening with the new administration, we're not gonna name names, Trump, DEI is going away. So, I wanted to talk about some of these things. One of the funniest things to me is that people have this misunderstanding of what DEI is. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? It sounds like a wonderful idea. And it is a really great idea. I do see where some people are coming from, where you need to hire based on someone's ability to do the job, but I don't think that's the conversation we're having today. I think the conversation that needs to happen is the one that we're about to have. So, without further ado, here we go. So, last year, I was invited to go to a diversity, equity, and inclusion training. This would have probably been around, actually I think it was June. So during Pride Month. It was super interesting. So in the morning, when we started our exercises, every morning we do something called stretch and bend. They had announced that there was going to be a DEI lunch. I was actually pretty excited for it. This was right around the time where I started coming forward with some of these sexual harassment claims. And I thought it would be a great idea to go to this training because I thought, okay, maybe I'll feel better about myself. And long story short, I did not. The entire training was a joke. If you're going to talk about harassment in the workplace and offending people of different sexual orientations or maybe different skin colors, nationalities, gender, all of those things, I think those are the conversations you need to have. Essentially, it turned into a mockery of those things. The company I worked for put on all of these skits. And let me just say, well, I do not know what not being able to do your job has to do with being able to just see someone for who they are. So, with all of that being said, one of the skits that had me rolling my eyes the entire time, I can now laugh at because it was catastrophically hilarious. This was the setup, okay? A gentleman's walking around, hey, I'm gonna be your spotter today. I'm gonna make sure that you don't pass out from asphyxiation down in this manhole, okay? So, he sits down, sits on a bucket, rolls up his sleeves, puts on his shades, puts on some tanning lotion. Oh, it gets worse. All of this is supposed to demonstrate that he was being discriminated against because he was doing these things. No, that is an example of how not to do your job. If you want to suck as a human and not do your job appropriately, do exactly that. Make sure that the person down in the hole is not being monitored and make sure that they do pass out from asphyxiation because you're not paying attention, okay? That is all they needed to demonstrate. However, the demonstrations were not that simple. All they talked about was how this person got fired and walked off site because he decided to put in his headphones and roll up his sleeves and get a little bit of a tan. That is not what DEI is, okay? DEI is about being able to understand someone's differences and being able to accommodate those differences, or learning how to work with someone who has a different opinion or background than you. That is what DEI is. Because in my opinion, DEI isn't just skin color, sexual orientation, or any of those things. It's also diversity of thought. To me, diversity, equity, and inclusion means being kind to one another and being able to understand someone's differences. It doesn't matter how much I disagree with you or you disagree with me. This is who I am. This is my lifestyle. I may not agree with your lifestyle. I may not be comfortable with your lifestyle. I think everyone is entitled to their opinion. Something my husband often says is, you're entitled to your opinion, even if you're wrong. It's a wonderful phrase. I think that brings a lot of different aspects of personality into this conversation. Do I think it's a shame that DEI is going away? At least on the federal level? Absolutely. But I do think, even though we had it for a short time, it did do a lot of good. It made people aware, It made people realize, whoa, there are people out there that strive to work really hard every day with all of their disabilities, with living in a very heteronormative culture and not being able to experience what it is to be someone who's gay or lesbian or trans or even bisexual. I do think that as you really get to know people, you really start to understand how to communicate and what those differences can mean. One of my favorite experiences with DEI was when I had first started with my last contractor. The one thing they told me was that harassment of any kind is not tolerated, and we are a family, and if you cannot understand someone for who they are, you can be moved to a different project, but eventually you're going to run out of projects to go to, and one day we will just tell you, hey, I'm sorry, we just don't have any work right now, and essentially lay you off. And the reason why they would do that is because they wanted people who were kind and compassionate. If you really want to build a friendly work environment, a work environment that is not hostile, you need to do these exercises. You need to go out there and get to know your guys. Go out there. Go do trust fall exercises. I don't care. Do something. Anything is better than nothing. But doing something could save someone's life, it could save somebody's career, and it just might make their day. This was a fun video to make, and this is something I hope to talk about in the future with you guys. I don't know what you guys thought, but this is a fun conversation to have because it really makes me grateful for DEI. It doesn't matter what anyone else's opinion is. This is mine. But I'd like to hear your thoughts. Put them down in the comments below and tell me what you think. Until next time, this is my corner, and I'll catch you on the next one.